Hi everyone, it's Adrian from Living Holistic Health here. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about something that may interest you, particularly people who have problems with mood or stress, so anxiety, depression, or can't sleeping properly, or just feeling a bit unwell mood-wise. There's something that particularly for where that sort of seems to run in the family quite a bit. There could be an issue with what we call a genetic issue to do with this particular enzyme called MTHFR. Now, you may or may not have heard of that before, but basically what it's referring to is that there's this thing called methylation, which is like it's a chemical process that happens in most cells in the body, and it's really relevant, this methylation process, particularly for people who are suffering from these stress and mood conditions. Okay, because very often what we can find is with the research is that for these people they have a real problem making the correct numbers of brain chemicals. They're things that we call neurotransmitters. Things like you might have heard of, like serotonin or dopamine or GABA or any of those sorts of things that are really important for mental health. So methylation is a process by which these neurotransmitters, these brain chemicals, are made. And so for some people, that process doesn't quite work properly, and so they may end up with distorted levels of these brain chemicals, these neurotransmitters, which might be contributing to how they're feeling in mood and stress-wise and causing them to respond not quite well, depression or anxiety or whatever it might be there. So for some of these people, when we can actually do some genetic testing, what we find is that there's this particular enzyme called this MTHFR, which is actually maybe partially responsible for a problem with processing these neurotransmitters. Now, this methylation process, as I said, it occurs in many cells of the body, and it's responsible for a lot of stuff, including even things like hormones or fat metabolism and fertility. But what we tend to find is that if you think that might be a bit of an issue, or you might have a bit of some issues with mood and stress that haven't quite been addressed properly, or you might be thinking that might be something that could be applicable to yourself or someone you know, there is a couple of tests that you can do. One is you can actually get a test for this MTHFR gene to see whether or not you're in that category of people who might be susceptible to this. And the second thing that you can do is you can actually have a blood test to have a look at this amino acid in the blood called homocysteine. What the researchers tended to find is that people who've got higher levels of this homocysteine, very often, they're the ones who might have issues with mental health, so that mood and stress stuff. And that if we can lower the homocysteine levels in the blood, which we can do through nutrition, then we can actually improve people's moods, and particularly certain types of B vitamins, etc. So it's an area of emerging importance, and we have got a link there on the website for you to have a look at. We've got more information about it, so please feel free to read through. But this is something that might be, it is quite common, and it might be applicable to yourself or someone you know, as I said. So please check it out. MTHFR, the gene test, and also the homocysteine levels, which can be checked through your GP, or you can come and see us because we do specialise in this particular area of mental health. Thanks very much for listening.